Hey y'all, what it is, bitches? So y'all, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's my 1 year sober anniversary, bitch. I've been sober a whole year, and it's very emotional for me because it took me almost dying for me to get sober in the first place. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Getting sober was not in my plans, in my cards, okay? I was not planning on getting sober. If it wasn't for me almost dying, my pancreas almost shutting down, getting pancreatitis, being in the ICU, if it wasn't for any of that shit, I would still be a drunk ass bitch today. And I'm gonna be honest, but I thank God that he saved me. You know, it was a traumatic event, and I'm gonna post a video. I made a video about it months after it happened on my channel, but since I have new people on my channel, I'm just gonna add that video at the end of this video so y'all know how bad it was. But I almost died, y'all, this time last year, and thank God that I'm sober. I thought that it would have took me getting pregnant for me to stop drinking. Drinking was my everything. I would wake up drinking a glass of Chardonnay. I would go to bed with a glass of Merlot. I would go to bed with a few shots of vodka. Like, y'all, I would drink 2 bottles of wine a day. And when I got tired of wine, I would drink 1 bottle of vodka a day, okay? I would go through bottles of booze, y'all. I did not have a filter when it came to alcohol. You know, I went on bad dates just to get free alcohol. I slept with people I didn't want to fucking sleep with just because of alcohol. I stayed in bad relationships when I was younger just because the guy was providing me alcohol. I did so many detrimental things just to keep my addiction going until my body almost gave out on me. And I'm going to get fucking emotional, but I'm proud of myself. I did not imagine that I'd be sober this long. A year may not be long to you, but to an addict, being free of a substance that you used to love, that you used to rely on every day, it's a miracle. I always drank, even if I was sick. Didn't matter if I was sick, didn't matter if I was hungover, didn't matter if I had just thrown up. I would drink right after throwing up. That's how bad I was, y'all. It took me almost dying, and I'm gonna post a video after this so y'all know how bad it was, because it was such a traumatic event that I don't even want to rehash it. But just to give you guys an idea, my pancreas, since the attack last year, is now scarred up, and I have diabetes from it, and it's so scarred up, it's almost like someone who has liver sclerosis. People with liver sclerosis aren't supposed to drink or they'll die. Essentially, if I were to drink, I would basically die. That's what's kept me going, y'all. That's what's kept me sober this whole year, is the fact that if I were to drink, I would basically be signing my death certificate. That's what one of my doctors told me. I remember after I got out of the ICU and I was kind of more, you know, I came out of the ICU and I was more like awake and aware of things and alert. I finally asked the doctors, I'm like, look, so does this mean I can't drink again? They're like, yes, it means you can't drink again. Your pancreas has had enough. Your pancreas almost shut down. You are this close to dying. And if you were to drink again, you would basically be signing your death certificate. You would basically be signing up to die. So I now know that I can have a life without alcohol. I can have sex without alcohol. I can have a relationship without alcohol. I can live a normal life without alcohol. And I didn't believe that was possible. When the doctors told me, oh, well, you'll be able to live a semi-normal life, you just won't be able to drink, I felt like that's not a normal life. But now I know it is a normal life. I'm 50 pounds lighter than I was back then. I look a lot younger and better, I think. And I'm just so grateful that I made it a year. I never thought I'd make it a year sober unless I got knocked up and had kids. And I'm glad that it didn't take me having children just to stop drinking. But yeah, alcohol just ruined my life, but it also saved me that I drank so much. Because if it wasn't for me getting pancreatitis severely, I probably would have never stopped. And I would have never looked this good. Okay? Yep. But the video of the attack I'll just post it. Okay. Thank you guys for your support. Anybody who's prayed for me to stay sober, thank you. All right. Let me cry off camera.
Hey y'all, what it is, bitch? Okay, so you guys, I'm finally back, and I didn't intend to not make videos for this fucking long, but girl, this has been the most hardest few months of a year I've ever experienced, you guys. I was deathly sick, and it's because of my addiction. Anybody who's watched me for the past few years knows that I, was on and off as far as my alcoholism. I went to a rehab center back in 2019 and I was sober for a few months, then I relapsed. And then this last summer, I went to a psych ward and, I got sober for like a few weeks and I relapsed again. And me being the person I am, after I relapsed this past summer, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep drinking. What's the point of relapsing all the time and trying to get sober if I keep falling off the wagon? If I keep getting triggered and I keep having to drink? What is the point of even trying to keep going to AA? What's the point of even trying to be sober? So from like, I'd say July of 2021 until January, bitch, I was drinking and I was slowly killing myself and not even realizing it. I did not realize how much damage I caused my fucking body until January 20th, 2022, when I got extremely fucking ill and I damn near died. So, just for a little backstory, throughout the months of July 2021 till January 20th, I was having random shooting pain in my upper gut, like up my upper stomach, like right below my boobs, like right around here where your pancreas is, right? But at the time when I was actively drinking, I didn't realize that was my pancreas acting up. I literally just thought it was gas pains. So all I would do is literally take Gas X and still keep drinking. So for months, you guys, I had this really sharp, dull pain that would just shoot across my stomach and it would go away. I mean, it would stay there and I would bloat up for like, I'd say a day or two, then it would go away. And then I was like, okay, maybe that's just gas pain. I think I even called my primary care doctor and I was like, hey, I'm having this random gas pain in my upper stomach. Should I go to the hospital? And my doctor told me it was just IBS. So I believe my doctor that it was just IBS, and I kept on drinking. And I think she even gave me IBS medicine this past summer, and I started taking that and it helped a little bit and I kept on drinking. But bitch, I didn't realize it was not IBS. It was something way more serious. So the day of January 20th, I wake up and I'm extremely nauseous. And the pain that I have is like excruciating. The pain is more than just my upper stomach. It's like in my whole stomach. My belly swelled up so much, you guys. I looked like I was 3 months pregnant. I woke up with this huge fucking belly bump. I had stabbing pains, almost like somebody had a hot ass knife and they were just going to town in my fucking stomach. Like it just felt like someone was just like stabbing all different parts of my fucking belly. And I was like, I was in excruciating fucking pain. And me being the alcoholic bitch that I was, me being the stupid alcoholic, wet brain bitch that I was, I thought that the reason why I was hurting so bad was because I was going through alcohol withdrawal. Because not only was I hurting really bad, I was nauseous as fuck. And I woke up and I threw up like 2 times right when I woke up. And me being stupid, I drank like a glass of wine, thinking that this was alcohol withdrawal, thinking that my body was, my body was just like going through withdrawals and I needed alcohol. So I drank a glass of wine that morning. Bitch, that was the worst thing I ever did. I started projectile vomiting everything up. Everything I ate the day before, everything I ate the week before, whatever. I vomited like I'd say 10 times before I went to the hospital. It was so bad that I was like sweating profusely. And also I was like, when I was vomiting so hard that I was seeing like dots in my eyes. I was vomiting so hard that I damn near passed out. Not only did I almost pass out, I couldn't walk. It scared my parents half to death. My mom almost called 911 on me and I said, no, please, you just drive me. You have to, just please drive me there. I don't want to be picked up in an ambulance. It's going to freak me out more. So y'all, I couldn't even walk. My mom literally had to get a wheelchair that my dad used to use when he first had a stroke to wheel me out to her van, literally pick me up from the wheelchair because I couldn't even freaking walk. The pain was so excruciating that I couldn't even hold up my own body weight. Like my stomach was way out to here and I was just like bent over in pain, excruciating pain. Like I said, it felt like 100 knives were all stabbing me at one time, burning knives. Like, it hurt like hell. I'm like, either something exploded in there or I'm rotting inside. And I was kind of right. I was basically rotting inside. And let me explain it. So, after vomiting all over the ER floor and waiting a whole hour and a half to finally get seen, after they do all the CT scans and the blood work and the freaking, what did they do? They also did something else. They did blood work, CT scan, and I think an ultrasound. They say, half of your pancreas is dying. I'm like, what? They're like, you have pancreatitis and it's very severe and you're having necrosing cells. I'm like, what is necrosing? They said that means dying cells. Are you an alcoholic? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I drink every day. And they asked me, how much do I drink every day? And at this time, you guys, I was drinking about 2 bottles of wine a day. And I had to be honest, like, I was at the hospital. Fuck it. Like, I mean, there's no sense of hiding now. And my mom wasn't in the room. They weren't even allowing, visitors because the COVID cases were still very high here in Georgia. This was like I said, this was back in January. So the COVID cases were still hella high. So I was just basically sitting in the room by myself in excruciating pain, and just basically fucking dying from the inside. So anyway, they're like, yeah, you're having necrosing cells. You must drink a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I drink 2 bottles of wine a day. They looked shocked. They looked like they fucking saw a Bigfoot. They were like, what? That much? That's way too much for you. No wonder your cells are dying. No wonder you have pancreatitis. I'm like, what is pancreatitis, y'all? I had never heard of pancreatitis. I felt so damn dumb. I'm like, what is pancreatitis? So basically they explained it to me that my pancreas was really swollen and it's because, alcohol, and if I don't drink, that it will go down. So me being, me hating the hospital, being uncomfortable, feeling like shit, I just wanted to get out of the hospital. Even though they told me, I think you need to stay here for a few days. I'm like, why? Is it infected? They're like, no, not yet, but it might get infected. Me being the scaredy cat I was, and me not liking that hospital because they made me wait for 2 hours in the waiting room, vomiting everywhere, I still said, hey, I don't want to stay here. I'm going to see if I can handle this at home. And the crazy thing about it was I had a GI appointment, a gastroenterologist appointment the next morning, and I didn't even get to make it to that appointment because you know what? After I signed myself out, it got worse. When I went home, when I convinced my mom to pick me up from the hospital and she brought me home, bitch, it got worse. I had to go right back to the hospital in the middle of the night. Literally, you guys, when I got home and I tried to go to sleep at home, I got extremely fucking ill. I was attempting to sleep in my bed and literally I vomited so much that I fell out of my bed. My mom came rushing to my room. I basically collapsed out of my bed from vomiting so much. And she's like, nope, you're going right back to the hospital, Olivia. You're not going to tell them that you're leaving. You better freaking stay this time. So, y'all, my mom rushed me back to the hospital in the middle of the night after I, basically signed myself out against doctor's orders, which was stupid of me. But you guys, I was scared. I was scared to stay in the hospital. I was scared of, despite me being so fucking ill, my addict mind, I still had the addict mind because, you guys, I was basically still wet brain at the time. My brain was still kind of, I guess, in like a alcoholic fog, that I didn't think, hey bitch, maybe you should listen to this doctor and actually stay. You have pancreatitis. I didn't even think it was that serious until I came back into the hospital in the middle of the night and they told me that I had sepsis and my fucking pancreas growing, which is, we don't, anybody who doesn't know, sepsis is a deadly bacteria that if it gets in your bloodstream enough can fucking kill you. So I'm rushed into an actual bed, the ICU unit. I was rushed basically to the ICU because it was that bad. I was injected with a whole bunch of antibiotics. I was on 2 different types of antibiotics. They just kept, I still have the scars. Y'all can see, I don't know if y'all can really see this. It's kind of sunny out, but I still have hella scars from them basically putting a whole bunch of IVs in me, trying to get rid of that infection. And y'all, I was going in and out of consciousness. I was confused as fuck. They had to ask me what the president was. I told them it was still Trump, and they laughed at me. They asked me what year it was. I said it was 2002 instead of 2022. Bitch, I was delirious. Okay, it was that bad. I was not only going through pancreatitis, but I had an infection of sepsis, and sometimes it makes you confused. So I was fucking confused. They gave me a bunch of pain medicine, which made it worse. And I was in the ICU for 3 days. I didn't eat, you guys, for 3 days, 3 or 4 days. I was vomiting everything, even the water. So I didn't even get to eat actual ice chips until the 3rd day, I believe. And everything was like, everything was just basically shot up in me. All of my medicine, all of my water, everything that I needed, all the nutrients was all just in my veins. And I was just kind of in a fog for about 3 or 4 days. I think on the 4th day, I finally asked them, "Hey, doctor, can I ever drink again?" The doctor looked at me and was like, "Are you serious? You almost died. You were this close to death." That's what the doctor literally did. The doctor did this and said I was this close to death because I waited so long to basically get real treatment. He said, if you would have waited a few more hours or another day, you probably would have died of dehydration and sepsis. The sepsis would have gotten to your bloodstream and killed you, or you would have died from dehydration. And you're asking me about alcohol. He said, all of this is because of your alcoholism. You have half damaged. You have a half damaged pancreas. Half of your cells are dead. You have a lot of fluid around your pancreas that's just floating. You're just floating. Your pancreas is floating in toxins. You cannot drink ever again. You've maxed out your drinking. You've just maxed it out, Olivia. You're gonna have to be sober, and if you drink ever again, you'll probably die very soon. Your pancreas cannot take it. Your pancreas cannot take alcohol anymore. You guys, I had never been so sad in my life. It almost felt like part of me died. Like, he said that half my pancreas was basically dead and it cannot take alcohol. Bitch, I cried. I remember calling my mom. This is when I was finally in like a normal hospital room. I was calling my mom. I was like, "Mom, please call that doctor. Ask him again. Can I ever drink again? He told me I can never drink again. And I don't know if I heard him right. I'm still on all this pain medicine. Maybe it was a dream. Please just ask him." Y'all, I didn't even believe it. That's how in denial I was of how bad my addiction was that I didn't even believe the doctor when he told me all that at first. And my mom called the doctor and she's like, yeah, he was telling you the truth. This wasn't a dream. You really messed up your pancreas. Like, your pancreas is halfway dead. Y'all, I was devastated. And I still felt like shit. And I was more sad that I couldn't drink ever again, more than the fact that half my pancreas was basically dead. So I spent about 2 weeks in the hospital. I finally got out, I think on January 30th or January 31st, I believe. I finally got out. And, I still was hurting. So I was still hurting, even though they told me, "Oh, it'll heal. Your pancreas might heal in a few weeks. Just give it time. Just rest. Don't drink alcohol. Don't eat fried foods. Eat soft foods. Eat Jell-O. Eat pudding. Don't eat nothing crazy. You'll heal." No, I started having shooting pains again, you guys. A week later, I was right back in the hospital. So I think like the 2nd week of February, I was like right back in the hospital, feeling bad as fuck. And they did another CT scan. They're like, "Yeah, the pancreatitis is still there. Your infection is gone. The sepsis is gone, but you still have pancreatitis. Have you been drinking?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Oh, well, it's still swollen. You still have a lot of fluid. Do you want to get it drained? Do you want surgery? Because the fluid should have already went down by now." I'm like, "No. Is there any way you guys can just keep me for a few nights and see if it goes down?" And they did. I was there for, I think, like a weekend. This was like the 2nd week of February. I don't know. It was like right before Valentine's Day. So I was in the hospital again with the same shit. And and they let me go, and I still felt like shit. So fast forward to now, I saw my GI doctor last week because I did an MRI about 2 weeks ago because she still wanted to monitor my symptoms because, like I said, I severely damaged my pancreas. Half of it was dead. And she did the MRI, and she told me that basically my pancreas is still swollen. And I now not only is it still swollen, I have a lot of fluid around it. And I have a blockage in my pancreas, like a little blood clot in it. And now, you guys, I'm facing having to get surgery. I see a surgeon next week and to talk about draining my fluids because my GI doctor said it's been almost 2 months since your first initial pancreas attack. Your pancreas should have, should have went down. You shouldn't have all this fluid, and you damn sure shouldn't have a blockage. So basically, you guys, now I have to worry about actually getting surgery. I'm getting a consultation next week with a surgeon about getting the blockage out, because it's basically like a blood clot, and getting the fluid just drained out of me. And I don't know how consistent I'm going to be with my videos, but I'm going to take you guys on this journey with me, because I needed to talk about this. This shit is bothering me. I can't drink anymore because I fucked up my pancreas this bad. Now I have to have surgery. My pancreas is still swollen. I'm still having a lot of pain. I'm still taking pain pills. Been exhausted. I haven't been able to, and now I have diabetes as well. It's so bad that my pancreas hadn't healed. And it can't make insulin, so now I have to take insulin. I'm diabetic because of it, and now I have to get it drained because it never healed. And I'm just kind of mad that they didn't keep me longer or made me get surgery when I was in the hospital. Now I have to do this shit all over again. So I don't know how consistent I'm going to be, but I had to talk about this, y'all. I've been gone way too fucking long, and I know you guys probably miss my ass. Okay? And just pray for me, you guys. I don't know what, I mean, I haven't been drinking. I've been sober for about, 42 days now. What else do you want from me, pancreas? I don't know what else my pancreas wants from me, bitch. Okay? So anyway, I'm just exhausted. I'm mentally, emotionally exhausted, and I am not looking forward to getting surgery. All right, bye. This is proof for the bitches who may say I'm lying or exaggerating. No, bitch, this is how I looked back in January. I was sick as hell on oxygen, and I looked like I was 12 months pregnant, bitch. It was so embarrassing. Say no to drinking.